Alrighty, what's going on, people? It's Beartic here, and I am your host for the EPL slash Endeavor Pokemon League recap series, and today we're going to be going over week 1. Well, let's just jump into this. To start with, this week, our selection of Pokemon that we had available, that we would, our contestants had to try to fit on a team, at least one, were Camerupt, Bastiodon, Moltres, Haxorus, Absol, Dusknoir, Arbok, Huntail, Gorbis, and Electivire. Now, out of this list we have 2 Pokemon that can Mega. Those were allowed, so anybody that did choose these definitely had the option to use a Mega if they ever so please. So with that being said, I saw a lot of Haxoruses this week actually. I'm pretty sure someone reported seeing playing against 3 or seeing 3, and I think I counted that many as well. Haxorus, considering it's basically the poor man's Garchomp of this list of Pokemon, I could definitely see why a lot of people would opt for it. It's really strong. Even me myself, I've personally used this, and it hits like a truck. Only problem is its speed is a little low, so you know, that's kind of why it's not used that often. Secondly, we had Mega Camerupt, and anybody that plays VGC, considering this is a VGC league, that probably means everybody. Mega Camerupt is really strong in Trick Room, and there was a couple of Mega Camerupts out here, and one in particular I remember seeing definitely had Trick Room support next to it, so that with combination with its really strong offensive and defensive stats, it can really roll a team over if not checked. Anyway, for this week, so let's check out the matchups for this week. We had Sharp Dressed Gaming versus THATSAplusONE. That ended in 2-1 in Sharp's favor. Pretty good game. We got SHUTUPNROCK K8 versus Pflugmeister. That was 2-1 in Shutup's favor. Pretty good. Pretty close games. Then we got Murkiri versus Sir Squire, which was 2-0 in Murkiri's favor. So, you know, not as close to the others, but still pretty good. Then we got Moxie Boosted versus Andrew Davis, in which case it was a 2-0 in Andrew's favor. And we got Thebattler versus Robert VGC, which was 2-1 in Robert's favor. Now, we did have a forfeit this week, so it's one less game, but next week we should have the full list of 6 games, so that's definitely something we will be able to see and look forward to. Secondly, if there's any games that I would recommend watching, it's probably SHUTUPNROCK versus Pflugmeister, and particularly the end of game 3 was really amazing. And I'm really surprised it played out that way, and there was a few surprising things that happened as well. So I would go check that out. And now let's do play of the week. Play of the week. I don't know if I should call it a play of the week, but Sharp Dressed Gaming versus THATSAplusONE. Basically, the end of that set, we had a scenario where we had to basically flinch to death, and you know, Rock Slide is a move in VGC, and it's very common on fast Pokemon because, you know, if you're using it, you're usually using it to flinch, and essentially the scenario came up to where Sharp had to go for these flinches, which, you know, if it's your last Mon and you have a Pokemon that's fast that outspeed everything with Rock Slide, you're going to click Rock Slide. So, yeah. But it's not even just the fact that he was clicking Rock Slide like every turn. And, you know, I'm just going to say you should definitely look at it. I'm pretty sure it'll be linked in the description. So, go check that game out. It's really good. I would consider that the play of the week. Rock Slide flinch spam to the win. And, yeah. So, with all that being said, standings right now, we got Andrew Davis is in first place, we got Murkiri in second, we got Ryusei in third, who was unfortunately part of the game that had a forfeit. We had token forfeit, so Ryusei got a win. SHUTUPNROCK is 4th. We got Robert VGC for 5th. We got Sharp Drafts Gaming for 6th. Pflug for 7th. Thebattler for 8th. That's a +1 for 9th. Moxie Boosted for 10th. Squire for 11th. And Token for 12th because he had to forfeit this week. But don't worry, he'll be back next week. Anyway, with that being said, we're going to look at next week's pairings, which we got SHUTUPNROCK versus Token. So we'll get to see that. We'll get Murkiri versus Sharp Dress Gaming. I actually want to see that one. Squire versus Robert VGC. Ryusei versus Andrew Davis. That's a +1 versus Pflugmeister. And 2 of the fan favorites, Thebattler versus Moxie Boosted. Well, that'll be it for the recap this week, people. I hope you enjoyed. Leave some comments on which Pokemon you would like to see in these upcoming weeks. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Peace out. See you next week.